What's up, everybody?
Wait, are we going right now? Hold on,
Yeah.
I want to show you something.
It's okay, you can show in the middle of everything.
What, but
We just chill, bro, chill. We back on Walk Talks, and my special guest today, look, is the man, Hans. Show me your fight, I want to see it.
Man, jeez, you're just
You want to
jumping
show me
right.
his last fight?
It is-
Was 2020?
Yeah, you're just jumping right in.
3 years ago.
This is.
What the fuck? He's out.
No, he actually got
The
up.
referee. Go to the side.
He actually got back up.
So, for who don't know you, who are you? Who is Hans? Where are you from? Where are you born? How old are you? What you been doing in your life? What's your purpose in life? We don't have sponsors, guys, so we just drink this water here, so nobody sponsor me. He just wants to.
We actually hold on. We do.
The only sponsor will have
we
his
have
Monster.
we have Monster water. It just hasn't been delivered yet. And once it gets delivered, you're gonna have plenty of Monster Tour water here.
It's just a.
It's a formality that we have to. I gotta wet the tip. All right. What do you want? Wait. What do you want to know?
I want to know, who are you? First time I met you, like in person, shake your hand and see your face.
The
Tell me
first time
about-
you met me was in prison,
Is in prison.
and you shook my hand and said what to my face?
First time I met you was today. So tell me who you are.
I thought we did meet in prison though.
In prison.
Yeah, I mean,
You
if
don't
you
have
want,
to
you
tell
want,
this here right
I'm just trying to be real. You want to be real?
Okay, be real, be real.
I won't tell about the prison story. Yeah, did we not meet before? Ever? Somewhere else?
Vegas?
Maybe.
Maybe in Vegas, yeah.
I think I did. I met you when you were wandering around the casino in your shorts after you fought, and you took a hard left and started doing circles and didn't know where you're at. And I said, "Hey,
Or
what's
was
up,
lost.
Johnny?" And you're like, "I don't know where I'm at." And yeah, that's the first time I met you. With my favorite content.
Yeah.
Like, what do I like to watch?
What we should do together? Throw knives, put fire in my strength conditioning coach. And...
No, dude, no.
Hey, I was really trying to.
Okay.
I want to do something really fun, like take the gun, the airsoft gun, right?
Yeah.
And the idea, we can do a compete against each other, right? I'm gonna shoot you, you're gonna shoot me, but you have to build something that you cannot, like you have to build something that you need
Are you saying
very accuracy to build while he's shooting,
Okay.
and you have to like assemble something, because if you trap the thing like disassemble,
Look, I got something for you.
this is cool. We can do something like this.
So this is what I think, is that I think, and this is for you guys to do, especially considering now I know his background,
Oh, he
is
gonna
that
shoot me
I
so
think
bad.
that it'd be
Just put the glass.
I think it'd be really cool is that like you have to dodge them.
Dodge the bullet.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's really have to be really quick.
You know what I mean?
And I have a helmet.
A what?
With the grass area, and I have a helmet as well.
A
A
hammer.
hammer.
Helmet.
A helmet.
Oh, a helmet.
His accent's terrible, right? I thought he said, I have a hammer. So you're gonna hit somebody with the hammer. You have a helmet. I'll teach you how to speak
I can't
English.
understand anyone in here, man. Like, you guys are all speaking to different
This is what he
English.
said.
Yeah,
I have a hammer.
We need
Helmet.
We need subtitles on this.
Okay, no, I think that it would be like you would have to like create like lines, right? So you can't get out of the line, he can't get out of the line, and just dodge.
Yeah, I can dodge pretty much. Bro. I want to see you see a big fat face getting shot.
But also at the same time you can't aim. You know what I mean? Because if you aim, you always get them. Yeah. So there has to be some sort of variance where you get very limited range on how much you can aim, and how much he can move.
So whoever has the gun is blindfolded, and the guy has to run.
Stay on the spot. You stay on the line. You blind, and you shoot.
And the third person can guide them on. Left, fire, and then.
Yeah, but you got to stay within you got to
on
stay
the line.
within walls.
You cannot walk too much.
Because otherwise he can't run away this way or that way.
Yeah.
But I think that trying to move like this, if he's just shooting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, that would be like to do that shit in slow-mo. And
Matrix shit.
And maybe you just do it with you get an airsoft gun that like you get like the FPS is less.
Yeah.
So you start off slow, but just like Yeah, just Matrix stuff. You know, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I think that content like that for you would be amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe you could do something where you have to jump knee and like he shoots and you jump knee it.
Hits the bullet.
Yeah.
Fuck, this is hard.
You can do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like things like that, because like, or you do a spinning back kick and you hit the bullet.
I was trying to practice once. Remember, he was throwing like ping pong balls, and I was hit with a spin back kick.
Yeah, those. I mean, I'm just like, I mean, like again, like I said, like maybe you lower the FPS on that, but like that would be cool to watch. Like that's the kind of content I like to see. That's creative.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe it's not a gun. Maybe you just use a slingshot or something. I don't know, but I mean, like dodging stuff because you have so much movement, and I think people love to watch your movement. You know, and I think that you also have this ability to like you're like a lightweight fighter doing moves, but you're 6'5"
Weird.
and you're
Giant.
you're 6'5", 240 pounds, and I didn't know that till today. Like I didn't know that you're 6'5", 240, and you cut down to 205. Just like, honestly, just trying to head kick you was scary for me. Because it was just like, I didn't realize how high I had to go. I mean, like, you never have to go that high. I mean, who else is it? I mean, like,
Yeah, this was I'm telling them today.
So who's the tallest fighter in the UFC right now?
Me, in my division.
No, but who's taller in heavyweight? Is there anyone taller?
Volkanov, no, Volkov, no, Volkan, right? Yeah. Volkan? The Russian guy?
He may be 6'7".
Yeah.
But there's not many.
No, just
there's
him.
not many. You're taller than John Jones.
Yeah, 1 centimeter. What's your favorite athlete to work with?
Who's my favorite athlete to work with? All of them.
You don't have to have favorite. Like, I don't like when somebody asks me, what's your favorite food? Bro, how can you pick a favorite food? There's so much things good to eat, you know?
I don't have a favorite athlete. I mean, like, I have, like, I have everybody that I get to personally work with. There's, because a lot of people like, you know, this is our first interaction of you actually working with me, talking to me, you know, you being able to reach out, ask questions. If you have any ideas or whatever, I'll always tell you, man, like, if you have ideas you want to run by me, if you have business ideas you want to run by me, like, I'm always open to my athletes. That's what I pride myself off of. I always want to be able to make sure that, look, I'm a person that's been in this industry for 25 years. I've built multiple brands. I've seen brands go up. I've seen brands go down. I've seen athletes go up. I've seen athletes go down. And, you know, I look at every single athlete I work with differently, but I always like to make sure that they know they have access and they can talk to me and I can help them out if they, you know, if they're having, you know, like, you know, any kind of issues they have. You know, I want to be able to help them. That's my goal, and that's the service I like to provide back to the athletes I work with. You know,
how did you get with Monster?
how did I get with Monster?
Yeah.
So years before Monster, we had a snowboarding division at Osiris, and we made snowboard boots, and the guy that ran that division, his name's Cody Dresser, and he's a former pro snowboarder, and he created a snowboard division from scratch at Osiris, and we made awesome snowboard boots. We had the best snowboard team, and Cody and I worked together because I was the marketing director, so I basically oversaw like everything that was any type of sport. So he was within that division. He was also a editor at the snowboarding magazine, so he was already juiced in when it came to the content that was going out, plus working with us. He, in a crazy, you know, role reversal, ended up taking a job at Monster and heading up the entire action sports division in the, I don't know, like, this is 15 years ago, and this is before Monster was really Monster. It was like just really starting to get some momentum. We live very close by each other, and we started going to the gym a lot and training, and then I took him to train and do some Muay Thai with a really close friend of ours that passed away named Bill Dean. And so Cody came over and we trained, and he loved it. And one day, I mean, I was still doing Osiris. I was just like, hey man, this would be kind of cool if we started like a small like MMA division at Monster. Like there's like, I'll just put a couple of the, because I also own a
Because
brand.
Monster back in the day was working with which kind of athlete? Snowboard.
Motorsports, dirt bike, a lot of motorsports. So it was like a lot of supercross, and then it went into action sports, skateboarding, surfing, snowboarding, and that was its primary base. I own a company called Triumph United, and I've had that company for close to 18 years now. And before that, I started a company called Throwdown, and the Throwdown was the first company I started that was specifically for MMA. I built cages, I built gyms, I designed equipment, I had t-shirts. It was like I did everything we could to be like blanketed when MMA became big in 2005. I sold Throwdown, and then I started Triumph because I wanted to get out of the gym building business. It was just too much. Like it was building like gyms is not easy. And I have a part of my background is fabrication, because my dad is a fabricator. He did aluminum, crazy skylights and big stuff for custom homes. And so I learned
dad?
My dad, yeah.
Engineer.
No, he's he's a fabricator. He's a fabricator. So he takes
What's the name of that guy that do glue iron to iron? Like
weld. Yes.
I did this when I was younger.
So my dad taught me how to weld when I was very young, like 12 years old. I learned how to weld. So I learned how to cut steel. I learned how to weld.
Yeah.
And so when these gyms started in the cages and all this stuff, I was like, we can do this. So we can just do this ourselves. Like, I know how to do this. We put together a company, and we started building cages, and we built cages for Randy Couture. We did Extreme Couture. We did, we did a lot, like for Strike Force, like you name it, so many gyms, we built so many cages, and I met a lot of people through that. And that's when I also linked up with Title Boxing to become the distributor of our cages, and then they became the distributor of our equipment, and it really blew up. I kind of took, this is all relevant to the Monster story because I want to kind of piece back. I hope you guys understand. But basically, I sold my part. I had a partner in Throwdown. I sold my part to him, and then I wasn't going to do anything. I was just going to go back and just do shoes. And I decided I wanted to kind of I didn't want to just leave MMA either. I was sponsoring some fighters with shoes, so I was in it for that. But I was like, I don't want to completely leave MMA. So I started a company called Triumph United. And Triumph United initially was just a marketing agency for fighters. So I would say, hey, Johnny, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to build you a website. I'm going to build you t-shirts. I'll design you t-shirts, your walkout t-shirts, so you could sell them. I'm going to take photos for you so that you could use them for any ads and anything you need. I'm going to shoot you like training. I'm going to shoot portraits of you. I'll shoot you at the fights. And I'm going to build you out an entire, like, I'm going to be your one-stop shop for everything. I wasn't.
This was the beginning of Triumph?
This is the beginning of Triumph. And so I was, the people I was working with at that time, it was Rampage Jackson and Mayhem Miller. So those are the two guys that I was doing this for. So I was like, I'm going to build out your brand, and I'm not your agent. I could definitely, like, help you out and like give you advice. I'm not your agent, and I never wanted to be an MMA agent. I never wanted to be a manager like that. But I'll do your marketing so that you can add value. Like, so when you present, like, Jason got a deal with Mickey's beer. And so, like, I gave them all the material they needed. He had photos, he had everything ready to go. Like, so it was like, they didn't have to do shit. Like, they had it all ready to go. So that increased his value, and it increased his worth to the brand, and it made it very easy for them to pay him. Same thing with Rampage. Back years ago, we did a deal with a company called Resurrect, and that was like, it wasn't an energy drink, it was like a kind of a, I don't know, it was like a nutritional drink, but like I got them all their marketing material. We did it with multiple brands for Rampage, but I would run, and this is before social media, so we built out a site, and it was a site that we had people that could join. So we built this massive database of Rampage followers that we had access to, so that when we dropped a new t-shirt, like a new Rampage walkout t-shirt, they were for the first to know, and this is the early days of e-commerce, boom, new Rampage shirt, you buy it here, and it would all flow back. Now with Instagram and social media, you could do it differently, but then you had to do it that way. And I could write HTML code, and I could shoot the photos, and I knew how to do design t-shirts. So all these things combined rolled into a agency that provided support for athletes. And my first two athletes were Rampage and Mayhem. And then after that, I started doing the Kimbo stuff. And so as I did that, my partner at Throwdown started to see, and there's a photo.
Sorry.
There's a photo, you could pull this up, and if you want to put it up, there's a photo. What?
What?
You pointed at the ground.
No.
There's a photo of when Rampage knocked out Chuck Liddell, and he's standing there howling. And if you look at that photo, you'll see a Throwdown logo right here. You'll see a Triumph United logo right here, and you'll see an Osiris Shoes logo on top of that. Yeah, the 3 brands that I've been talking about.
Nice.
And it was one of, like, for me, it was like the quintessential, okay, this worked.
Yeah.
I've got my shoe company on there that had nothing to do with MMA, except for me sponsoring my friends. And then I had Throwdown, the brand that, I created to build gyms.
This was on the cloth or was on the floor?
No, this was on his shorts.
On the shorts.
Yeah, this was on his shorts. So all 3 brands. This dates back to Rampage knocking out Chuck Liddell. I had a very similar thing happen just 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago with Sean Strickland. Where it was like there was nobody that thought that Rampage was going to knock out Chuck Liddell. This was our second fight, but I knew, because I had been with Rampage that entire camp. I knew how dedicated he was. I knew how much he changed as a fighter. I knew the first time wasn't a fluke. And I put all the chips down on Rampage, and boom, it worked. He came out, people were booing him. Those boos turned around right now. And then he became world champion. And, it's like I had 3 brands. 3 of my brands were on the world champion just like that. Just because I had done what I said I was going to do. And so, what I'm saying is that, like, I've seen this work with a lot of other athletes, so I know I have a pretty good sense of, like, who I think will work. Like, this is why I'm going to stick behind him. This is why I'm going to work with him. This is why I think that, this could be special. And, like, the last one, what I'm saying is that with Strickland, it was very similar. I started working with Strickland, a while ago, like, I don't know, a couple of years ago, we started communicating and doing more stuff. A year ago, we got serious and started working really close together. I put him on the team earlier this year, and he's been on, like, since he's been on the team, he's been winning, and he was one of those guys that I believed, I knew, because by watching his work ethic, by seeing him, by being able to train with him, like, these little things, like, allowed me to go, I believe in this guy. I think that he's going to be a problem for a lot of people. And if you go back and you look at his record, you're like, oh, wow, the 4 guys he lost to, he lost to one guy that the champion lost to also, which was Alex. Both of them lost to him. He lost to another guy that the champion went to a decision with, and he got a split decision with, which is Cannonier. Then he lost to Usman at 170, which, Sean is a big guy. Cutting to 170, it was insane for him to do that anyway. And Usman in his prime, like, at that time, was unstoppable. And then he lost to DeSantis, who caught him with a spinning back heel kick, And so you look at that, and then you look at the guy, and you're like, okay, like, these styles make fights. My intuition from seeing and being around this industry for the last 23 years, I really do believe that he's going to not only win, but I think he's a good representative for the brand. And we have a strong relationship, and he embodies the things that we also, really push, which is like motocross and all these other things. And
Congratulations, Strickland, the world champion!
So
can't wait to spar him again. I'm gonna smash your face.
so that's the thing, is that, like, this isn't the first time this has happened to me. Like I've got other people that I've worked with and it's done the same thing. And this is where, like where I look at myself is like, this is the foresight of trying to be the best in my field, to discover talent, to work with talent, to build talent, to get them to where when you are associated with the brand that I'm working with, it means more than just a paycheck and like how many posts do I do. That's the deal. And so full 360, as I told a very long story, in 2010, Cody, like I said, he starts working for Monster. He's a director of action sports. He basically took a chance and pitched it, internally, and I got to, he allowed me to start working with fighters from Monster, and it was very small. Like these guys in the beginning, the first couple athletes we had were guys that people don't even know. I mean, like they're Muay Thai fighters that no one even knew, and then it rolled into sponsoring, Michael Chandler, Dominic Cruz, and then Rampage. So this for the first three. And, that became, that became the wave that created this want for more MMA in the company. Because the guys all went out there and busted their asses. They went to the sales events, they went to all kinds of events we put on, and everybody loved them. And they watched them fight, and they were winning fights, and everything was great. So it elevated the brand. Then we got involved. We dabbled in a couple small, MMA shows that, like we put the logo on, didn't really, see if it worked. But when we got into Bellator, when we actually became the title sponsor for Bellator, it blew up. Because now it became something that we can utilize not only for our sales teams, not only for contest incentives, but like we got more athletes now that are centered around Bellator wearing a logo on the shorts. We had Rampage, we had Chandler, and it really showed that MMA was a dominant force in sports that could sell drinks. And so when the Giants deal basically was over with the UFC, we had been in talks with at that time his name's Mike Mossholder, and we talked to him for a straight year before we actually were able to do the deal. But once we were able to do the deal, we got the deal done, and the Claw showed up in the UFC, and the rest is history. And there was the first original team.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who that is, but
Think I'm
hey, but hold on. Now I'm gonna start interviewing you. Now I'm flipping the table, bro. I'm gonna show you how to do this right. All right, ready for a little flip flop?
All right.
Because I want to get to know you too.
Okay.
I've been going on rambling rants about my fucking life story that you could read about anywhere, which you probably should have done, and you're just asking me questions, but that's okay. I just want to know why didn't you do any research on me? Like, for real, there's so much shit out there.
Why don't did what?
You didn't do your research on your guest.
I did.
You did not.
No, I asked my wife to do.
No, you literally did not.
Listen,
you pulled up questions.
This is why I have a wife. I asked my wife to do the research and send him the question read, and she did.
And that's why I'm saying, like, let's have a conversation. Like, I mean,
I think this is my first plan.
Okay, well, all right.
Initial.
Well, we broke through this. Okay, shit, it's almost 6:00, man. I got to get back soon. When did you even understand? Did you, growing up in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
What did you do? What was your sport? What were you into before MMA?
Football, soccer.
So you're into soccer.
Yeah.
So did you want to play professional soccer?
I tried, but I was really good. But Mafia on that back the day, they didn't really support much me. I have to beat the guys on the team to get that spot. So nobody wants me on that spot.
So how far did you go with it?
I make a test on the CBF from Brazil to try to play there, but I didn't pass.
Okay, how old were you?
16, I think, 17.
So 17. So then when do you transition to martial arts?
20.
So when you're 20 or so in those 3 years between you playing soccer, football, what did you do?
Work.
You just worked?
Yeah.
What kind of work did you do?
I build the house, dig to build the house, and I was on the I make a course and try to work with to do the thing with the iron,
So you're welding and you're doing some framing, some labor work.
Yeah.
So, but did you in the back of your head, was there ever a feeling?
I was confused. I have no idea what I was doing in my life. I want to be something I want to do
But
something
you always
important.
knew. But you knew in the back of your head. You always knew you were going to be great.
Yeah.
You felt it, didn't you?
I always liked martial arts.
No, but I mean, but not just martial arts. Like you
I want
knew
to be something.
you
good.
wanted to
I
be.
want-
You wanted to be somebody.
Yeah.
So you didn't know what it was going to, like where it was going to go. You didn't know if it was going to be football or if it was going to be a different sport, maybe music, maybe
I don't
dancing.
even know if it will be a sport. But once I start training and start to make a internal competition in the gyms and beating people up, then fuck, I want to do this for a living.
Okay, but have you always been a person that like you seem to be very extroverted, right? You don't mind, like obviously doing things like in front of people.
No.
You enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
The only thing on the beginning, I was very shy to get to talk to the girls. I
Talk to
didn't have
girls.
the confidence in the beginning, but everything else I do. I was doing backflip. I was learning that shit. I was trying to do everything else, but
okay,
was-
so
I was terrified
so
in the
then
beginning.
who brought you to the gym?
myself to do the dancing class and to do weights.
So you did go there. See, this is true. I was right.
No way.
You started off as a dancer, and from the dancing class, you
Yeah.
became a fighter.
Yes.
Okay, now we're breaking through. You told me that wasn't true. Now I know it is true.
No, you ask me if I do fucking TikTok how long time?
Hey,
Not professional
hey,
TikTok.
no. I asked
But I
you.
have a dancer inside me.
You were a dancer inside
Yeah.
you. We know that. We see you dancing. There's more to the story than just like, hey, like, you just kind of dance here and there. You really went there. So this is interesting. You, like, honestly pursuing a dance career before a fight career.
Kind of.
Okay? So you go to the gym. There's a dance studio. You go and do your dances and do whatever things you do in the dance class.
Try to
and then
learn
you see that there's a was it jiu-jitsu or was it mixed?
Jiu-jitsu Muay Thai.
So it's jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. You go now over there. Do you just go look and watch what they're doing, or do you go?
They invite me because I'm big. What the fuck you dancing, bro? Let's come train martial arts.
Okay, so they looked at you and like, hey man, like, why are you dancing? Why don't you come over and fight?
Yeah.
And so, but before then, have you ever been in a fight before?
Yeah. Like grow up being a bigger on the school, like a very tall kid. I think I was the focus on trouble because I wasn't looking for trouble, but people saw me like a big giant on the school. Like if I beat that guy, everybody gonna respect me. So everybody looking for fight me. I never looking for the fight. The fight looking for me.
Yeah, but how many altercations did you get into? Did you get into a lot?
My mom and my dad have to go to school like twice a month or more.
Okay, but as you got like, let me just kind of fast forward this. Like when you're between the ages of 16 to 19, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming not many people messed with you then. Like, were you getting into fights then?
Big guy, but very gentle, very like like.
But were you getting into fights?
But people want to fight me because
No, hold on,
just
hold on,
because
hold
I
on.
was
But-
big.
wait,
I was
but-
very nice with everybody and funny.
I get it. But were you actually physically fighting?
Yeah,
So you were physically fighting.
yeah.
Did you like to fight? Do you?
I didn't mind.
Okay, well look, I mean, like I've been around.
I didn't mind, but it was fun. I think I didn't fear the fight. Or I like the adrenaline. I like the moment, on the fight.
But
I didn't look for the fight. But he wanna fight? Okay, let's fight.
okay, so
I don't wanna avoid that much. I don't look for the fight.
I understand.
But if you wanna fight, we fight.
I get it. You're a pacifist when it comes to.
Peacemaker.
You're a pacifist when it comes to engaging and like you're not the kind of guy that's going to go and start the fight.
No.
But there are people and this is probably based upon your size and who the things that you've gone through that have messed with you through your life that have made you.
I was bullied, bro. Bullied. People see the big guy, they want to take a piece and blah 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 and get the look like a trophy, If you beat the big guy.
So you're reverse bullied. You're bullied because you're large.
Yeah.
And so you already had that, ingrained into your brain that like, hey, look, I've been bullied enough right here to like, this isn't new to me. I've been in this situation. I've been like around people that want to fight me. So you go into the dance studio, and then after that you go into the Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu studio. Did they have you like, were you like, did you have to go through the normal process of like, hey, like learning how to kick pads, kick the bags, or do they have you sparring right away?
was very quickly. Everything the teacher was teaching me, I was learning very quickly, and was everything so quickly for me. I even don't have like amateur MMA fight. I was go straight to a professional after like 6 months training or something.
So you only trained for 6 months, and then you went into professional fight.
Yeah.
And then how many fights was it from there that you got into the UFC?
Maybe 14.
14 fights. How many times were you fighting a year though? I mean, you're from Brazil.
Loads, bro.
I mean, the typical Brazilian,
Loads.
like, that's coming up, what,
Loads.
5 or 6 times at least a year?
Yeah, and boxing fight, Muay Thai fight, Jiu-Jitsu fight, everything. I was competing all martial arts as well.
Okay, so
Besides professional MMA.
so do you actually have a professional boxing record then?
No, I was all amateurs.
Okay, so how many amateur boxing matches have you done?
11,
So you did 11 amateur boxing matches. How many amateur Muay Thai or kickboxing?
23,
23.
23, all knockouts.
And then jiu-jitsu tournaments, matches?
I was world champion, blue belt, and probably more than 100 matches.
More than 100. Who did you get your black belt under?
No, I'm brown belt.
You're a brown belt.
Yeah.
So you still haven't got your black belt.
No.
So in this short period of time, you started in 2013. This is 10 years.
Yeah.
In 10 years, you have systematically gone from being a dancer to one of the best fighters on earth. That's pretty cool.
It's cool, right?
You know, I mean, did you think
The
that...
process.
Well, I mean, I guess for you to explain to other people out there, you went in there for one specific reason. You went in there to be a dancer. Let's just be straight
I don't want
up.
to be a dancer. I was just trying to...
Hold on.
Listen, I went to the dance class to learn how to dance so I can go to the nightclubs and be more relaxed and try to talk to girls and dance and have fun because
All right,
back
hold on.
in
So
the day...
film this for me.
Listen.
This is what I want right now.
Back in the day,
Start
right?
filming this right now.
Back in the day, I went to nightclub with my friends and everybody dancing, go to the girls and talk and it was just like this, like everybody dancing and having fun. Like, I don't know how to dance, why are you gonna have fun? So this I went to the gym to learn how to dance so I can have fun at the nightclub.
Hold on. You wanted to be a dancer and you became a fighter.
Come on, he wanna make me a dancer? No, I wanna learn how to dance to be more relaxed
You
when I
want to
go
learn
out.
how to dance to become a dancer, just like you want to learn how to fight is going to a MMA gym. But you initially went to the gym to learn how to dance.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to
Do
be
weights as well, I wanna be strong.
So you just wanted to be a buff dancer.
No, I don't wanna be a dancer, no. It'll put words in my mouth, I don't wanna be a dancer.
Okay, so all right, so you didn't want to be a dancer. You just wanted to go to dance classes and learn how to dance and lift weights and be buff and be a dancer. And so you do this now, and then you go walk over to the other side, and they pull you in, like, "Hey, dancer boy, cruise over here." And you went over there, like, "Hey," like,
Listen.
and they're like, "Hey, can you
was
moonwalk all over
learning-
this guy's face?"
I was learning how to dance, right? To be honest with you, so I can do my workout to the fight.
That's bullshit. Now you're
Yes.
lying. That's a lie. That's a lie.
I was
That's a lie.
planning my future
That's a lie.
already.
That's a lie.
God,
That's a
come
lie.
on.
No. This
All
is
of my workouts, I do a little
This
movement.
is what happened. This is what happened. You went to a club. You saw the dudes tearing it up on the dance floor. You're like, shit, if I learn how to dance like that, maybe I could pull that chick. And you're like, So you probably start practicing in the mirror first. You're like, I don't know if I'm getting it. And then you go, like, oh, there's a dance studio over there. I'm going to learn how to dance. Because if I learn how to dance, I could pull that girl that I want. So you go in there and you're like, hey, do you guys teach TikTok dancing?
No,
And
there's
they
no
go-
TikTok in that
And
back
they
in the
go,
day.
they're like, we don't teach TikTok dancing. We just teach normal dancing. You're like, you know what? I want to learn how to normal dance. And you go in there and you start dancing. And then the dudes on the fight side go, man, that dude's trying to TikTok dance. Let's go beat his ass. And then they told you to come over. They're like, hey, we're going to go get the TikTok dancer over here. And they thought they were going to beat your ass. And
I
then you
beat
beat the
them
shit
ass.
out of them.
Yes.
And then it all started
It all started.
because you were a TikTok dancer.
Okay. Fuck that.
You know it's true. I'm not saying
No,
the
it's not
TikTok part.
100% true, but
I'm not saying the TikTok part, but I'm saying that, look, I get it. I know you now, dude. I know what happened. There's probably a girl at some club or somewhere, and you're like, she's probably a really good dancer, and your friends couldn't dance for shit, and you're like, I'm gonna learn how to fucking dance. I've seen you in your videos dancing. And that fucking takes such balls, by the way. It takes, like, I mean, this is go on record. That, like, one of the reasons why I was like, this is why I do believe you could be one of the fucking biggest stars in this fucking industry. I'm being dead shit honest. And we need to have more conversations and we need to talk more. Is that this industry is filled with guys that want to be fucking tough. This industry is filled with the shit talk. This industry is filled with the fucking, like, I'm fucking tough. Oh. Man, you go out there and I watch you fucking dancing around all over the place, not giving a fuck. That's fucking like 99% of most males are not only too scared to do something like that, but it's like probably their biggest fucking fear. And you're out there doing it in fucking your goddamn Valet Tudo shorts. You're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's fucking, I think that if you're gonna take two guys, right, out there, go, hey, I'm gonna put these shorts on you, and you got to pick one. You got to go in a cage and fight a man, or you got to fucking dance in front of everybody. I would say most people would go fight a man. And so the fact that you could just go fucking dance like that, like
I can do both.
you can do both, and that's one of those things that's when we're talking about earlier when I was going like, hey, look, you need to identify your style. You got to identify like what you are, but some like that nobody else is. You have that. You just need to tap into it more. I mean, dude, honestly, I could see you like on Dancing with the Stars.
I was trying to get one in Ireland. Pecky said he have a friend that. But I was probably gonna go to. No,
but now that I know these things, these are the things I can help you with. Because it's like there's the point where it's like the fluid fighter, the guys that fight and like that are that move and know how to move. We all know they're good dancers. Like anybody that is involved in this sport knows the stiff people that are stiff that probably can't dance. But then you got Anderson Silva, you. Fucking Izzy. Like, there's no doubt in my fucking mind that you guys could go out and cut the fucking rug up and like just tear the dance floor down. I know that for a fact. You're disco dancing all over motherfuckers and shit. But that also equates to why you're so evasive and why you're so loose and why you can throw, and manipulate your punches and your kicks in ways that nobody else can. There's a huge, huge benefit to that. I mean, it's you see it in lighter divisions. You don't see it nearly as much in light heavyweight or heavyweight. But you just happen to be one of the largest light heavyweights to ever fucking walk the planet. It's pretty phenomenal to see you be able to move like that. I mean, like just moving around with you today, I was nervous because I actually had no fucking clue where you were going. Like you're moving all over the place. You were like an octopus, and that's cool. And I think that, if I had any recommendations to you, is I would embrace that more and put out categorical content that like showed your movement. It's
it's really hard on the beginning when I was posting like dancing videos and stuff. Like people say, stop, go train, you're gonna lose the last fight. On the beginning, was a lot of people.
Fuck them, dude.
Yeah.
Don't look at them.
On the beginning was this.
Man.
Everybody say shit when I post something fun and dancing stuff, and then I keep fucking posting. I don't care. But keep going, and today everybody like when I post something to dance. Because they accept. Now they have to accept because I'm not gonna stop.
But listen, but this is the difference, man. And this is where, like, for me, it's like I've been filled with people that fucking hate me, and I haven't been filled with fans and people that see me with you. Like if I put a video up, I fucking guarantee you today I'll put a video up of us training or doing something like that. I'll get like about I would say 80% of the people will love it, but there's going to be 20% that will be like, that would probably comment and talk shit. And the reasons why isn't because you and I are training. It's not because we're doing it. It's because they can't do it. So the people that are saying stop putting up dancing videos,
most jealous.
Literally, the people that are saying that stop putting up dancing videos, they can't do it. They can't do it. And so they're jealous and they just have no other outlet to say it, and they want to try to fuck with you and make you feel bad about doing something you like. I get this almost on a lot of the posts I put out. If I'm training, if I'm hitting pads, if I'm doing anything like this, someone like you who's a professional fighter would see that and be like, that's pretty fucking cool, because you understand that I love to do this, and that's what I like to do. That's where other people like to golf. Some people like to, play tennis. Some people whatever their hobbies. Mine is I just really enjoy training. That's all I like to do. That's like the benefit of me working in this job. But I'll get these people that are like, "You're not a fighter. Why are you stop posting this?" And I just know, like, you think you're so fucking cool, or you Johnny, you made Johnny do these things. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I made a 6'5", 240-pound fucking light heavyweight that could literally fucking cremate 90% of the population do something. I don't think so. Because you're not gonna, if you don't want to do something, you're not doing it. Am I right? So that's the thing. It's like the dancing video thing is like, I truly believe, and just like for you, man, like you got this eccentric, like really like charismatic personality that I think MMA needs more of. I really do, and I think that you embrace it and keep doing shit. And
it's what I do.
Funny.
Like I don't give a fuck anymore. Like if I post today, it's less, but it's gonna have somebody to talk shit. But fuck it, I don't give a fuck.
No, because you're doing what you do. You're beating the shit out of people, and it's like I don't like, and that's the difference between like some of the old school fighters and you. And just like I fuck with you, and I want. I mean, dude, I mean, just to be straight up, man. I flew out here to see you. I'm going to the fights. I came out to be here in fucking SPG, and because you asked me, you're like, "Hey, are you coming out?" And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I need to fucking hang out with Johnny. Like, we haven't hung out. Like, we haven't done anything. I want him to, like, we got our training in. We got to talk right now. We got some lunch. But when I leave this place, I'm going to know you better, and you're going to know me better. Yeah. And you're going to know, like when, like, things like, hey, we have questions, whatever. You're going to be like, I get it. You understand me.
Build a relationship.
Yeah. And that's why I'm here. So I flew out for this. And, like, that's what I want you to know. Like, so you being on our team and you doing what you do is I embrace it and I love it. I don't want you to stop. Like, you're a face for Monster. You're not going anywhere. Like, you're one of my guys. And I want you to know and understand that, like, this is your home. This is your team. I want you, and if you need resources and you need help with whatever, just let me know. Because where we as a brand, like, that's our goal. Our goal is our athletes. Our athletes are gold. They're at the top of the heap. So if you're on the Monster team, doesn't matter if you're here or here, I'm going to make sure and help you get to where you want to do and achieve your goal, and whatever that may be. If that your goal is to be the world champion, we're gonna help you do that.
Who is Hans?
Dude,
people want to know who are you.
I don't think people really want to know. I think they just want to see me either get hurt or people talk shit on me. They like that too, or I think they like to see the effects of what you guys do as a team. The team that I try to orchestrate and build, which is the Monster Energy MMA team. But I am Hans. I'm from California, Oceanside, California, to be specific.
You born, raised there?
Born and raised. I still live there to this day.
California.
46 now. Okay, I tend to age myself up. I'm 45, but I'll be 46 in 2 weeks, October 1st. Right? That's about 2 weeks away. Not even that. Yeah. Pretty close. 10 days or something like that. Shit. Yeah, I'll be 46 at the end of the month. And I grew up in San Diego, Oceanside, California, which is in San Diego. Grew up skateboarding, surfing, riding motocross, and I was working in the action sports industry for many years, making shoes. I made a shoe called Osiris Shoes. It was a lifestyle skateboarding shoe.
When you have the relationship, the connection with martial arts, when did you train? Which martial arts did you start training?
I started training. I mean, my first connection with martial arts was back in the early 80s when I saw Enter the Dragon. I watched a Bruce Lee movie and I was like, whoa. Like, it was just really cool to see somebody, like, fuck people up, with their hands and their feet and the kicks and stuff. It was really cool. But what really changed me, that forever changed my whole, like, perception on martial arts, because there was a movie called The Karate Kid. That didn't change me. In fact, that drove me away from it. I was like, man, like, that's when there was a big boom in especially in California and all around the United States, where everybody started taking karate. And I was into skateboarding at the time, so I didn't care about that. And I just went in a different direction. But later in the 80s, a movie called Kickboxer came out. Actually,
Kickboxer?
Yes. Before that, the movie Bloodsport came out,
Yes.
then Kickboxer. So I saw the movie Bloodsport, and I was like, I was kind of amazed by this, you know, like just that there was different martial arts out there.
Yeah.
But then when Kickboxer came out,
The Bloodsport of Jean-Claude Van Damme, right?
yeah, so Jean-Claude Van Damme comes out with Bloodsport, which has the kumite.
Yeah.
And it was it was basically like the
Is that the one that the guy throws some powder in his eye and he walk?
Yeah,
They
that
use fucking
that was Kickboxer.
glue and then
No, that was Kickboxer.
glass on the fucking.
Yeah, that was
what the
Kickboxer.
fuck?
So, but the kumite, so Bloodsport comes out, and that was like the prelude to the UFC, like the first UFC. It was like a bunch of guys that were competing in an event that had different styles, and Jean-Claude Van Damme ends up winning, even though he was more than I think a karate guy. It went on to the next film that he did, which was Kickboxer, which was based out of Thailand, and his brother was a kickboxing champion. They go to Thailand, they fight Thai fighters, and his brother ends up, the story, gets his back broken. He goes on to avenge his brother. At the time, I didn't realize that. I mean, he was doing a lot of stuff that was, kicking the bamboo tree, and then doing different types of movements that were supposed to be Muay Thai. I didn't know it wasn't Muay Thai. I didn't know that till later.
Muay Thai was the first martial art you saw?
No, but I thought what Jean-Claude Van Damme was doing was Muay Thai and Kickboxer until much later that I realized, oh shit, like the other guys in the movie were doing Muay Thai. Jean-Claude Van Damme was doing like a hybrid version of like karate and Muay Thai in Thailand.
Yeah.
And so I was really into that. That's what, but I wanted to figure out how to learn that type of martial art. We didn't have that anywhere in San Diego. Like there was nothing, Muay Thai didn't exist, and like there was just regular Taekwondo studio. So I read books, and I started like watching, like video cassettes on kickboxing, and then I started to learn like, oh, there's like different styles of kickboxing, and I got into that, but everything was completely based off of just what I could find, like at a bookstore, or what I could rent at a video. Like back then there was like, you rent VHS tapes and you would watch it. So I got obsessed with watching that and understanding and learning, the striking art. At that same time, that's when Mike Tyson was on a tear, so it's like, man, like these guys can, the knees, the elbows, the kicks, just like, these are fucking really good weapons. But then you see Tyson, with what he was doing,
whip somebody out with hands.
Yeah, just exploding people, like man, that'd be crazy if somehow that they could combine. And then fast forward a couple years, and UFC 1 comes out, and like I remember it was one of those things that was I don't even know how the word got out, but everybody knew that UFC 1 was the pay-per-view event, and I'm never gonna forget it. We all went to my buddy Mike's house, and there was like 50 of us, and we all watched it. We all wanted to see, and it was just fucking basically Bloodsport. It was like there was a giant,
The real one.
It was the real Bloodsport. There was there was like a giant freaking sumo wrestler looking guy, and there was a karate guy. There was Art Jimerson that had one boxing glove on. I mean, this was fucking straight out of the movie, and it was real. It was really happening. And so my head's going, okay, is it going to be a striker with hands, or is it going to be a striker that has like like this kickboxing Muay Thai style? And it was neither. It was fucking Hoist Gracie, and it was one of those things that like 360'd my life. I was like, whoa,
what the fuck?
Because I was I wrestled and I was into wrestling and stuff like that, but like I didn't understand that there was so much more that could be done, from a submission standpoint.
Without hitting somebody.
And watching Hoist, basically go, I mean, like these guys were fighting multiple fights a night. Open weight class, open time limit. So this is like the term that they used, as real as it gets. It was fucking real. Yeah. And he was in a gi, but it was one of those things that saw that, the smallest guy there, that was obviously,
Between the biggest ones. Like,
that-
it's supposed to happen like that.
it wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. And it changed my perception on fighting forever. And like, I was like, wow, he just neutralized every single person here. And I think the reason why is because none of them had any idea of what he was doing.
Yeah.
I want to learn that now. So then I went out and
You're starting jiu-jitsu?
I didn't start jiu-jitsu because we didn't have it.
Yeah.
This is 1993. I mean, I was like I think I was a junior.
One year after I born.
I was a junior in high school. And I remember I went and I bought there was these big books, like jiu-jitsu books, and I don't know which Gracie put it out, but I still have them, and it had like all the techniques. And so I would just kind of like play with my friends and be like, hey, let me try this on, let me try this, and just started working different submissions and just trying to figure out how to do it. And I didn't know if I was even doing it right, but I was so fascinated with it that it got me. That was like the start of the bug, and I was still, my life was still action sports. So it was skateboarding, surfing, motocross, everything that had anything to do with where I grew up. I was very immersed in that world. I started off working in the shops, and then from the shops I went and started working for a small clothing company that was a skateboard company. Then I went from there to work for a shoe company, which was a big shoe company called DC Shoes. I worked there for a very short amount of time, and then I went to another company that was a startup company called Osiris Shoes. And Osiris Shoes in the late 90s, early 2000s was known for making a very fat, puffy, like large skateboard shoe that was like, it was just like a football on your feet.
Yeah.
And I mean, growing up in Southern California, I like, a smaller, low profile shoe to skate in. But at this time, there's bands like, there was this new music genre like called rap rock, like Limp Bizkit, and like, like a corn, like all these like new alternative types of music was coming out, and the guys were wearing really baggy pants and baggy clothes, and they were wearing really big puffy shoes. And we got locked into this whole world of kids and youth culture that our shoes just worked. And so I watched a company, start up with nothing, like a small skateboard company making a couple $1 million a year, to like making $65 million like the next year. And for me, it was like, I was like, I'm, my job and my role at that brand, and this is important because this is kind of what translates over to all the other stuff that I've done, was that I worked directly with the skateboarders, the surfers, the motocross guys, or BMX guys, and as a team manager. So I'm managing them. Like, I make sure that they get all their shoes. I make sure that I do their contracts. I make sure that at that time, because photography was like the digital, there wasn't really much digital photography. I shot all the photos. I had to shoot photos, so I had to go out in the field and shoot a skateboarder skating out in the streets, or sometimes it would be I'd shoot a surfer surfing, or many of the times I would have to shoot the actual product, like tons of product shots. So I would like sit there in a studio and shoot all day long, and then also like do the ads. So I would go out and shoot a guy skating on a rail, like doing some sort of trick, come back, have to go get the film developed, have to go get the film scanned, and then put it in my computer. And this would take like a week. I mean, nowadays it's like iPhone will do it in 2 seconds. It would take like a week, and then I would lay out the ad and get it ready, and then send it to the magazine, and then it'd be an ad in a magazine. That back then there were magazines too, so magazines were a big deal. So when you open up a magazine, you see a skate ad, and you would see our shoe there, and you would see a photo of the skateboarder, and that's how we built the brand in that industry. And so to circle back, I like was still trying to figure out how to I really wanted to learn how to do jiu-jitsu, right? And when I was working at Osiris, I found a place. I mean, like, I had gone to a couple spots, like 3 or 4 different places, but they weren't anything that I liked. And the first spot that I really felt like this is my home, this is where I'll be, was a place in San Diego called City Boxing, and that was with Dean Lidster and Jocko Willemick.
But your ambition was to be a lawyer. When did you switch?
I'll tell you. So when I back in high school and when I was going to college, I was a history major, and my goal was to get my law degree so that, because this is a different time too, is that to work as a sports agent or to work with athletes or to work in any field that required a higher level of marketing, you need to understand contractual law.
Yeah.
You need to understand how to read, write, and negotiate a contract. So that was always my primary mission. I always wanted to work, there was never a time I never wanted to work with sports, athletes, and within the industry. The stuff that I did, the competition stuff that I did was purely 100% just because I love doing it. Like I'm a competitive person at nature, and I just like to have fun and compete and train and do stuff. I never looked at anything like, I was never like, oh, this is my goal. I want to be a professional at, a sport. My goal was always I want to be professional at marketing. I want to be professional at building a brand. I want to be a professional at taking, an athlete that somebody may kind of know to somebody who everybody knows, and then associating them with a brand and associating them with other, things that I could interject to help them grow. That was always what I wanted to do. And that's where the law, that's why I wanted to go into law, is so that I knew, and I ended up still, to this day, I still study law. It's not something that I ever stopped doing, but I always wanted to make sure that I knew that I could go through any contract and understand exactly, what somebody was trying to write out or what somebody was trying to put down and express. And then I could also call out things that I thought were wrong, whether it's for the company or for the athlete. I needed to know. I just didn't want to be like, oh, here you go, I don't know what this means. I wanted to be like, if you ask me a question like, hey, on, paragraph 2, section A, like, what does this mean? I would explain it to you so that you have an understanding. And that's in my job, and what we do in this part of the marketing world is critical.
All right. And what advice do you have to athletes that they want to build their brands?
I think that, you have to be yourself, first of all. There's a lot of guys and there's a lot of people that it's clear that
they build a persona.
They're emulating somebody that they're not. Do I think that you have to have theatrics? Do I think that you have to do things to catch people's attention? Absolutely. Because this thing, what people need to realize, and this is what this game is that this is show business, basically, man. Like, this is everything that has anything to do with professional sports. You're promoting either a team or an organization or yourself, because that's what brings people to come watch you fight or watch you play football or watch you do anything, right? Like, so if you want to be a paid athlete, if you want to be paid at higher, like, for instance, as a fighter, right? Like, the goal, isn't just to be a world champion. Because if you think that you met, okay, I'm going to become the world champion, then stop. You don't have to do it again. You can be done. You met your goal and you're done. If you want this as a profession and you want to be able to make money for a very long time and then still continue to make money even after you're done and you're retired from fighting, you have to build, a big fan base and a solid foundation on why people want to follow you, right? And what your journey is and what it becomes. And so my advice would be this, is that, you may have to step out of your comfort zone. You may have to do things that, will draw a little attention to you. You may have to, you don't want to, there's no selling out when it comes down to,
you have to sell something.
When you have to actually promote a brand. Like, that's the thing. Like, so there's, you got to quantify the results of what you do for another brand or for the organization or for yourself. Like, you have to be able to look at that. You have to be able to look at the metrics and the insights on why, you're worth this amount of money to this company, or why you're worth this amount of money for the organization, why you should be able to get a title shot. because it's all based on the, like, are you going to sell this fight? Are people going to want to watch it? Is a company wanting to, support you and back you by putting a logo on them? Why do they want to do that? So individuality, like being somebody that, can show, you have to have the skill set first, right? But if you have the skill set and you have, a good personality, and you can actually deliver on making sure that, the sponsors and the people that are paying you, like they see return, you're in a good place. If you're just going in there and going, I'm just going to train, and I've heard this forever. This is the one thing that I always, I hear this from many fighters. Like, I just want to fight. I just want to train, fight, and that's it. That's all I want to do. Like, that can only take you so far. You have to sell. You have to become a brand. You have to be able to sell yourself. You have to be able to get people to want to, actually engage and watch you train, fight, live your lifestyle. Because then the brands and everybody else, like, they will invest in you.
What do you think is the common mistakes that athletes do, and how to avoid them?
Common, like, which type of mistake?
Common mistake to don't develop your brand, to don't be a successful an athlete, to have a brand behind you, to be successful, like. What's a common mistake that people?
I think. I mean, I'm seeing this a lot. I see this a lot. I mean, like, there's two different levels of being confident, right? And there's people that have an extreme confidence about them, and that they truly believe, and they have a vision, and they know that, like, they're willing to put everything on the line and do it. Then there's other people that play it up the same way, but they're not delivering the same way. So I think a mistake is that if you
try to sell something that you cannot sell,
if
you don't have the product, you try to sell a product that you don't have.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going out there and you're trying to emulate or trying to, like, recreate something somebody else did, and it just doesn't come off genuine. It doesn't come off genuine. And when you know the person, or you've seen the people and you've worked with them, and you're like, that guy is not like that. This is a bit, and this is, like, I mean, if he does it good and he knows how to sell it and he knows how to do it in a way that, like, it's successful, like, like, I mean, I hate to use this, cross reference, but I mean, like, how a pro wrestler would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're playing an act and they're playing a role. But, like, when Stone Cold Steve Austin or, The Rock did their bits, they did it right, and they went out there and they sold it, and that's not who they really are as a person, but I mean, like, they're playing a role and they did it right, and it came off somewhat genuine. It's the guys that, like, try to do that, and they may not understand the world that they're trying to pretend they're in, and it just comes off just disingenuous, and it doesn't work for anybody.
Let's just finish this podcast then. So
wait, we're still going?
Yeah, the best part was now, right? It was really good.
Oh, sorry. Oh, fuck.
So,
I went on a full monologue and didn't even realize I was on a podcast for a second.
I hope you guys enjoy. This is Hans. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. Comment below what you guys think, right? And help me to share this channel and promote, like, subscribe. Let's kick
I can't kick because
you're gonna kick a monster now.
Because this fucking guy had to test out something on my ankle.
I just
and I
told
can't fucking
you.
walk. I said,
Do you remember what happened? We have that on video. We have that on video. No. Wait, we have that on video.
No.
I like it. Let's show something.
But that's not the point. That's not the fucking point.
Look at my eyes.
I said, don't do it. Don't do it. I said, don't do it.
And then I told you, and then now you're like, oh, because of the surgery.
No, this is what you said. You're like, hey, this is gonna really hurt, and I'm gonna show you.
If I kick, gonna hurt.
And you kicked me.
Touch screen. Touch.
So you must have the fucking golden foot or something, because why does it hurt?
I'm sorry.
I said, hey, please don't do it. Please don't do it. You're like, no, I gotta show you. I gotta show you. I gotta show you. I gotta show you. I go, please don't do it. I'm already hurt. And you're like, I gotta show you. Please. Ow! Now my fucking ankle, I have to get a cast.
It will be okay.
Let's go kick a can.
You're a tough guy. Thank you, guys.